Hi guys, it's Nathan here, Something or Nothing. So I've been waiting for a while now for the weather to be nice enough to be able to get out in the garden and to try out putting up my new Lanshan 2 Four Seasons that Trev's very kindly got for me. So I did a bit of an unboxing. So it's all still very shiny, got his label on. I have unpacked it and put it back in, sort of worked on that. Now, I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube. I've got a better idea of how to put it up. I believe there are 8 pegs that come with the tent. So I'm going to attempt to put this up. I've only put a Lanshan up once before and I've not put this tent up. So I'm going to try and make it look as neat as possible when it's done using only the 8 pegs provided. Alright, so there seemed to be a bit of a debate when we've put them up in the past about using the right number of pegs. One thing I have noticed is obviously it uses hiking poles. I use some OEX carbon fibre hiking poles. They weren't overly expensive, got them from Go Outdoors. I don't know if that's coming up on the video, but that piece of plastic that goes around the retaining clip on the clamp has broken and it doesn't look particularly strong. Oh, well, yeah, there you go, there's more coming off now. So I don't know, I really don't know how secure that clamp's going to be going forward. So we'll see if we can get away with it today, but I might have to invest in some higher end hiking poles. This is the other one, and it's very hard to see on the video, but that in there you can see the sort of white mark where it's starting to crack already. You know, what I am saying is the OEX X-Light carbon hiking poles, while they're lighter than the ones that I had before, they were quite cheap, but I haven't used them a whole much other than propping up tents and propping up tarps, and they're already sort of falling apart on me, so food for thought. Anyway, without further ado, let's go put this tent up. Okay, so one tent peg pulled out, but managed to get the outer skin up. I'll just give you a quick walk around of that and then we'll put the inner in. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, it's not the easiest tent that I've ever put up, but that said, it's got some really cool features. So things that I like looking at it now are the guy ropes that hold the doors, that hold the vestibules open. So when you undo the doors that slackens them, the guy rope that holds the top of the tent taut stays taut because it's tied in a knot. It's just like a simple thing, and then you can sort of do the vestibules up and tie the guys on that later on when you get in. The way the inner sort of clips to the outer, brilliant. So when you're putting it up, if you want to set it up with 8 pegs, which is totally doable, you have to have, on this version that I've got, there's no other way it was going to happen unless you only have about half tension on the four corners of the fly. A lot of the ones I look at, they show in the elastic on YouTube. Whether they've switched it to string or not, I don't know, or whether this is an early one that's string and they've switched it to elastic, I don't know. But the short and tall of it is if you have half tension on all four corners, as opposed to having it fully open, which is what some of the tutorial videos showed me to do, you will be able to stretch the string on the bathtub base over the peg as well, and therefore eliminating the need to peg the corners of the bathtub and the corners of the tent. The only issue I've got with setting this tent up today is the fact, and I don't know if you've seen me readjusting it, is the hiking pole that I showed you earlier in the introduction that has got an issue with the way the nut does up on it, is failing on me, and it is going slack and it is slowly coming down. Probably as I'm sitting here, we're probably losing tension, although the top of the tent feels fairly taut. But anyway, there you go. That's me putting the Lanshan 2 Four Seasons up. Now I'm going to take it down and pack it away, and then we'll go back inside, get a cup of tea on, and then have a look over it again.
I think it's even smaller than it was before.
Okay. Well, that went pretty well, didn't it? I think, personally. So it's only the second time I've ever put up a Lanshan 2. I find the tent particularly appealing because it's lightweight. It's a glorified tarp in a way. I really like the idea of hiking pole tents. I think it's relatively straightforward, it's simple to put up. They've got some clever techniques in there for securing lines and how things are doubled up, like you're using one piece of string that goes from the apex down to the peg and then goes in to tie the doors out to form the vestibule. It's clever, like little ideas like that of how the inner secures to the outer inside and how you stretch the bathtub out to double up using the outer pegs. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great little tent. I think there's definitely something to be said for practice. You know, I'm sure you guys have got tips and advice on how you put yours up and how it goes quicker. People are probably going to have their own preferences as far as length of hiking pole is concerned. Some of the videos I looked at were like 115, some of them said 110, some said 120. As you practice as an individual, I'm sure you're going to fine tune the way you like to have your tent put up. I went for 120 on the poles, and I think that was way too much tension because it was definitely pulling pegs out. So I think if you put too much tension in it when you put it up and then you get high wind, especially on soft ground, you might end up having a problem. So that about sums it up for me for the Lanshan 2 Four Seasons so far. Hopefully it won't be too long now and we'll actually be able to get out and go camping legally, and then you guys can sort of see how we get on with its use in the field. So until next time, thank you very much. Peace.